Welcome to Conversations, Cocktails, and Connections. I'm Amy Hester.
And I'm Emily Reeves.
We're about to make a fun and very different for me cocktail.
Yes.
So different for me.
So we're making the Green Tox cocktail.
Yeah.
So it's like a detox rather than Green Tox. It's detox, but then you add booze, so I think that makes it more toxic.
I don't ever drink the green juice stuff.
I love a green juice. I've got my juicer back here, and it's kind of fun to make the green juice. Yeah. But before we jump into it, what do you think about my apron? Do you see that this is
It is so cute.
Do you see that this is a bottle opener? And that these pockets are big enough to hold, beers if we want to do drinks.
Extras.
Well, it's a good thing I have one for you.
It's a present. Oh, I'm so excited. Can I wear it now?
You can.
Oh, that's
I wanted to keep
fun.
it in its packaging for you. I should have opened it.
In case I want to be the king of the grill, too.
I know. They're technically grill master aprons. It's like gentleman's hardware. But because I liked the way that the straps did and the fact that they had a
bottle
opener and that the pockets were big enough to hold beer, that I kind of we're going to make these into our bar aprons.
Oh, my God. This is awesome. And it has your name on it.
And yes.
I'm so excited. I haven't opened present in so long.
You have to attach the beer bottle opener, but
okay. So really quick. Talk to me about juices. Do you know much about juices? I did buy this at Whole Foods only because the recipe actually called for us to maybe juice it ourselves. But since we were kind of cramped on time, we thought, cheat.
Juicing's always a process too, because you've got the pulp, it comes out the back end, and then you got the juice and all that kind of stuff. So
it was real interesting because when I was reading the recipe, I may do this later.
Yeah.
It's coming from maybe a Vegas bar and I'm thinking, are they juicing as a cocktail is being made, or do they have it already done?
I don't know. I mean, when you're back there, maybe if you're making a lot of them, maybe it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
But I appreciate this. So this is Clean Energy cold pressed juice. So it's got apple, celery, kale, spinach, lemon, and matcha. And the recipe that we're working with calls for a green goodness juice, which has kale, lemon, celery, cucumber, apples, and ginger. So I think the only difference is this has matcha and our recipe has ginger. So we got some ginger and we're gonna
play.
We're gonna kind of muddle it when we do the shaker and then we'll strain. Who knows if that's gonna work out? What do we do here? We learn as we go.
That's right. We could just be creating some fantastic drink right now.
I know.
And healthy at the same time.
All right, so are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
So, tell me what we need. I can help.
So, we are going to measure out. So, each drink has, of course, vodka. So, we need 1.5 ounces of vodka per drink. So, of course, I'm going to go ahead and double it.
Yes.
I'm not going to go ahead and triple or quadruple this one yet because I'm not sure if we're going to love it. We got to measure. So I'm just going to put in 3 ounces of vodka.
I have never purchased, this also calls for agave nectar. And so I bought, for the first time ever, agave nectar, organic raw agave nectar. I'm assuming it's just for sweetening. I'm going to do a little taste test. Oh, God, that's good. Sugar.
Okay, we call for 2 ounces of the Green Goddess nectar. So I will measure out 4 ounces of that. Green Goodness.
Yeah. I think when I was doing a search, I was saying Green Goddess because my sister was with me and we were talking about it. And I think it told me that, yes, they have Green Goddess. But honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's the Green Goddess dressing.
Oh, yeah.
But they had Whole Foods. You can't go wrong, right?
So this calls for 3/4 ounce agave nectar, which seems like a lot. And that's for one. So I'm going to have to double it to 1.5.
We have to make this seem a little better. Sorry.
Well, that's true.
I do want to try this.
Okay. So I'm going to put in.
We are just kind of going by a recipe and making it up as we go. So if you don't want to use all of it, I guess you don't have to. But why not?
Well,
the sweeter, the better.
Try. I mean, we do like our simple syrup.
Yes.
Okay, so then it is a splash of fresh lemon juice.
Okay.
So we've got that already juiced. So I don't know, what's a splash like?
There you go.
You think that's enough for 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
some ginger.
and then we're gonna.
The ginger can be spicy, remember?
I know, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of ginger.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I like ginger, but not especially after that one bad ginger beer experience.
I know. I mean, I'm not really gonna use this. We're just making.
I think when you shake
we're
it, it'll
making
probably be
shit
fine.
up as we go along.
Well, the reason we are doing a green drink is for our guest, Melinda Glasgow and Lennie Massanelli. We're real excited. She's going to be super pumped that we're drinking a green drink because that's her favorite color. Since she does work for the city of Little Rock.
Make me shake.
Yeah. Sustainability is her thing. Or both of theirs, Lennie and Mel.
Yeah, all about recycling.
Yeah, recycling, making the world a better place. So I'm so excited to show her our green cocktail.
All right.
Ooh.
All right. Let's do a little pouring.
I mean, this is going to be the most vegetables in a couple of days.
Couple of days.
I mean, I have not, since we are redoing our house, like I don't probably get the nutrients I should with the food that we're eating currently.
All right, we've got our straws.
Glass straws, no paper.
We probably could put ice. Should we put ice in there? We'll taste it first.
Okay.
Oh gosh,
wait, lemon.
Oh yeah, our
garnish with a lemon. That's really pretty. Can you see?
The Green Tox cocktail. Cheers.
It's good.
I mean,
and it's different.
It tastes healthy.
It does taste healthy. I think it's not like we're going to be shooting it down really.
Yeah, that's true.
I think ice might help it.
Maybe I'll get a fancy ice cube and stick in there.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. Let's go. Let's go talk to
Lennie and Melinda. I need to rep like.
Yeah, because you're friends.
I'm
with
friends
her,
with her, so I
Mel.
usually call her Mel. So Melinda Glasgow is who we're speaking with, and Lennie Massanelli, and I'm real excited to talk to them. And there's so much I feel like that we don't know about recycling.
Yeah.
And we need to know all the stuff.
Yeah, so it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. Hi, girls.
You're not IT. Let me just say that.
I'm not either. She is.
I hope y'all have cocktails at least.
Okay, we did. We did. So,
Okay. Mel, I have to tell you really quick because we did this for you. We're having green cocktails.
Oh, I love that. What makes it green?
We are so green.
So it's like a pressed juice, basically. So it's called Green Tox is the name of the drink, but it's basically like taking a healthy green juice that has like celery and kale and apple and all that stuff, and mixing it with vodka and ginger. So there you go, and lemon juice.
It's healthy and fun.
Yes, it does have a slight healthy aftertaste.
It definitely tastes like a healthy drink.
Of spinach, maybe, and kale. We have our glass straws and our cloth napkins.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're being environmentally friendly tonight in honor of you guys. So, and in general, we actually do.
You guys, I'm so excited that you are here because I feel like there's so much about recycling and sustainability that I don't know. I think I know this much, and there's this much that we need to know.
Okay. Amy, you know what? Being in this field, I feel like that too. Melinda, as long as she's been in it, says she learns something new every day. Every day. So you're.
Yes. So we will say that this is Melinda Glasgow and Lennie Massanelli. And you guys work at this for the state or
City
I'm
of Little
sorry,
Rock.
City of Little Rock. And, yeah, or the state, yeah, whatever.
We are the City of Little Rock Sustainability Office.
Yeah.
The two of you.
Mm-hmm. Peace out.
All right. So what is your role as the sustainability office in the two roles that you guys fill for the city? What is the main thing that you do on a daily basis?
Pre-COVID or post-COVID? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's a really
good question.
How about pre and post?
Yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't matter, right? Mm-hmm. We were working on, we had a lot of momentum around, actually a few projects. First and foremost, our annual sustainability summit, which usually we have 250, 300 guests, and we had to cancel that this year because it was scheduled for April 2nd. And, we had, the numbers were too big. You remember back then, it was like over 100 gatherings, over 100. So anyhow, so that was canceled to start with.
There were a lot of moving parts to that, a lot of guest speakers, a lot of, there was a lunch being served, and it's a big, beautiful, wonderful, informative deal. And it just got the axe. And apart from that, we had some projects like the Green Restaurant Certification Program to get restaurants going green, and different tiers that they could work up these levels. And now they're just struggling to stay open,
as
right?
we all know.
Right.
So that's
taking a back seat.
That's on hold right now. And Kathy Peck, one of our city directors, was the lead on that. Hosting our task force meetings, which was very fun because we got to go to trios for those, and sometimes we had in that conversation. That was great, but
that always makes work better.
Oh, always.
Exactly.
And conversations, all of a sudden you become more wide.
Yes.
So that's on hold, and also
the single use task force. For about plastic bags in especially larger businesses, we had a task force about slapping a fee on those plastic bags that you see hanging from trees in Little Rock and blowing around corners and so forth. So that had a lot of momentum there.
A lot of momentum. We were set to present to the board of directors our task force findings at the end of March. So that didn't happen.
And that was we had a couple of people on that task force who were mayoral appointed.
3.
Yeah, so we had people from the grocery sector who were representing to inform us as we were all moving together to make this thing happen. And now, you go to Kroger or Edwards or wherever, and they won't touch your reusable bags. You've got to bag them yourself. So this is a different time now with the pandemic.
So we'll probably have to wait post-COVID in order to pick that conversation back up with that 8-person task force.
Do you feel like because of COVID, it's going to push that momentum that you had started, and people are going to have forgotten about it, and you need to just start getting back into preaching it again and getting people on board? Or will it be able to pick back up?
I think it'll be able to pick back up. I think people are aware and understand that right now it's just a crazy time, and it will come back. And I think but it's all about timing, as with everything, right? But we are still working on many issues. One of the most recent issues you all probably have seen in the media is the recycling, curbside recycling contract, right?
Yeah. It was up for a 3-year extension.
Yeah. So my question was, how long was the contract before? Did they only do it in 3-year increments, or?
No, it's always a multi-year contract, but we were already in a 2-year extension. We are currently right now in a 2-year extension from a 7-year contract.
Oh, okay.
So it was a 7-year contract on the front end. We are currently until April 1st of 2021 in the middle of a 2-year contract. And then starting April 1, 2021 through March 30th, 2024 will be this 3-year extension with our same hauler, Waste Management.
Okay. So yeah.
I mean, I think I don't, as a, Little Rock resident, I didn't even realize that it was up for discussion that recycling could go away. I read, the article and kind of what's been going on. And I thought, how did I not even know that was up for discussion? Because I would have been giving my voice to that to say, yes, we want recycling. I mean, I have 3 recycling bins at my house. Like I pay for the extra one just to make sure we can put all of our stuff in recycling every week or every 2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, and if you took it away, I mean, I can't even imagine that was even a thought. And what would you do? And how could you tell people the importance of why you did it to the beginning, and then it takes away, and then you try to get them back on board? That would be just like 10 years backwards.
It would be insane. You can't be a progressive city and not have a recycling program.
We actually were relieved that the board did vote to keep the current recycling program as is, even though you can't put glass in the curbside cart in the city.
I was so hoping for that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people were.
Well, not still. I mean, for the next 3 years, what we know, again, through March of 2024, is going to be the same as it is right now. That is what that vote, was a solid, that's where we are, and that's where we will be through March of 2024. No glass in the curbside cart in the city of Little Rock. However, there are drop-offs, as you all probably are aware, which we
I've been.
Have you guys been using drop-offs?
So there's several local businesses in my neighborhood, and like I pile it up in a box outside, and my husband drives it over there like once a week, mostly wine bottles, but whatever.
No judgment.
I know our little carton, it's actually the old recycling, the green tubs is what we use to hold our glass now. And so it just kind of sits in between the house of my neighbor, and they always will go up. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed for them to see, because it's all alcohol bottles. Typically all wine, but yes. I mean, we will always recycle that.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it? I feel like there's always something that I'm missing with recycling. Like, can you put this in? What can you not put in a recycling tub?
Okay, so
she has a little flyer.
We did bring kind of a little flyer here.
Okay.
We try to keep it simple.
Yes.
And there are only 3 categories that are accepted items in your curbside cart residentially.
Mm-hmm.
So it is fiber, which is pretty much all paper and
magazines, catalogs,
paperboard, like your cereal boxes, cracker boxes, etc., and cardboard, corrugated cardboard, right? So then metal cans, pretty self-explanatory. And then plastic bottles, that's the most confusion comes in that particular category, because really the only plastics that are actually getting recycled to an end market right now are bottles. Now, it can be a detergent bottle, it can be a shampoo bottle, it can be a drink container. There are lots of different types. As long as they're empty, you can have the lid on or off. And if you take the lid off, just pitch it, because it's too small. It won't make it through the processing, right?
Because let me ask you really quick. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what Waste Management does is separates the recycling, correct? So they're not just pushing the whole canister into somewhere and they're getting rid of it. They have to actually sort what's in your recycling tub. Correct?
So that's a great thing, just to start from the start. So what we do as residents is we put our recycling in the residential cart and we pull it to the curb. What happens to it next is the Waste Management recycling truck comes and collects it on your collection day. They haul it out to what's called a MRF, MRF. It's a materials recovery facility. It's located out in the port, and they dump it all on the floor, and it's a concrete floor, and it's a big warehouse, and so machines move it around, and it's when they retrofitted that facility out there, It was over a $5 million retrofit in 2012 when we were able to mix all of the commodities into one cart. And there's this very elaborate a conveyor system that separates the different commodities, and there's a blower and there's a magnet that gets the metal cans, and there's a blower that blows the paper in a different direction, and there are hand sorters, like they probably have about a dozen people, actually humans, that pick things out, which is our biggest issue, right, with recycling is contaminants. So they'll pick out like the styrofoam.
We'll get into that more in a moment.
Yeah, or whatever. But and then the end product, it all gets dumped into an area below all of this system above, all this crazy
conveyor system,
and it all goes together. Like all the milk jugs are in one area, and all the aluminum cans are in one area, and all of the papers and it gets baled up. Like, I'm from the country, so we get hay bales, so it's all baled with metal wiring around. These commodities are all the same because they have an end buyer that just wants that particular kind of product, whether it's the paper or the plastics or the aluminum or whatever, and they go to different places, and they all sort that. They bale it, they haul it, they sort it all out at the recycling facility.
I used to give tours there before we all socially distanced.
Pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Listen, I was just about to ask if they gave tours, because I think it would be very interesting to actually see the facility.
I would love to give you a tour sometime.
I would love it.
Around each other.
Yeah, we can totally do that. Absolutely.
That would be really fun.
We would have school kids, different teachers would have us do that, and it's fascinating. Really, they've got a conference room where you can see what's going on the floor, like actively going on the floor, and how it actually operates, and it's pretty darn cool. And so it lets you see what happens to everything, and we will do that post-COVID.
Absolutely, but I mean, contaminants. There's a spectrum. So sometimes you see garden hoses, dirty diapers. Rusty down at the Murph has shot us pictures of like motor oil exploding. No liquids, no garden hoses, no dirty diapers.
Does that ruin
food? No food.
Well, will that ruin? So say if you're baling it up, I mean, if something exploded like that and you didn't catch it, would that just completely ruin that whole bale of plastics or the whole?
It ruins it way before the sorting process. It just contaminates all the things that could go through. So liquids are bad. Food, like Melinda said, is really bad. And then things that just don't belong there at all.
Some things are seasonal. Like in the springtime, we see a lot of old water hoses, and after the holidays, we see a lot of Christmas tree lights, and such as that.
Yeah, not good.
So there is some relation to the season on some of the contaminants, but
I think plastic is what gets the most confusion out of residents.
Yeah.
I think Melinda's has neighbors who's put in their recycling cart like a whole storage container that was actually in good shape, but it was plastic. Can't you recycle that? No, you cannot.
Not in your curbside cart.
Not in the curbside
and
cart.
That's the thing we talk about, is a lot of things can be recycled or repurposed, and that's what we're trying to get, is to really do more education around refusing items on the front end, and to be more mindful about how you shop and how it's packaged, and also then to reuse something or to gift it. Take that empty, like looks like brand new plastic tub to Goodwill or someone that can use it, right?
What makes that plastic different from water bottle plastic?
It's
harder, but
you're right, though. It is a different plastic, and that's just it. And without going into all the science of it or whatever, 1s and 2s, like on the bottom of all plastics, has has a chasing arrow with a number in the center, and to make it easy, if
1 and 2 bottles,
just ones and twos are really what have that buyer, that because it's that kind of plastic, like you say, that's what they want, and that's what they can make other things into. If the top is smaller than the base, and in some cases, if it's the same size, for example, a peanut butter jar, if it's cleaned out, then that's fine, even though the top is about the same size. And you know what? Right now, what everybody's using at work the other day, we were asked, like the Clorox wipes, for example, if that container is empty because it's the same size on the top as the bottom, but if you look under it, it's a 2. It's just fine. But visually, if you don't want to look at every plastic thing, it's usually just containers, and it can, like I said, laundry detergent, drink container, if it's just And
the graphic that Melinda was showing you guys, you can find it on littlerock.gov. You just go to residents, drop down to recycling. That graphic is on there. It tells you and shows you exactly what can go in the recycling cart. It's really easy peasy. So it's a very quick way to just reference what goes in your cart. One thing that really impacted me was the amount of plastic in our environment. It's floating globally in the oceans and in people's neighborhoods, and it is taking over, and it scares me, frankly, just how much is being produced and how much is being wasted and being discarded and littered. And so I've been trying to come up with alternatives to plastic. For instance, I now brush my teeth with a bamboo toothbrush. I now cover my food with a beeswax reusable cover. I think she's going to go grab one instead of using saran wrap.
So it's one thing Mel has told me before, because I hear her talk a lot about things that happen with you guys and what you are working on. But I remember her coming in and telling me once about taking like the little Ziploc containers with to a restaurant when you're going, instead of asking for a to-go box. And I was like, that's genius, because you really don't have to have a large one, because you're typically only taking half your food back. Why you don't you could throw that in your bag and
totally. But these are some of the things, and y'all may have some. Amy, I'll bring you some. These are so these just you just put them around the end of cheese or over.
And the beeswax makes it thick like saran wrap or something.
And they're reusable. You just wipe them off or wash them, and
they'll last for a year or so.
Yeah. And then these are really cool, like little lids instead of saran wrap. They're different sizes, and I even have small ones that you put on. Awesome.
Those are cute.
Just little lids to reuse for.
Yeah. Where did you buy those? Where did you get those?
The Green Corner store has a lot of these type of items in town. That's where we've gotten some of this. That's where I got. Yeah, that's where I got this. These wax cover was Green Corner store.
Yeah. That's and honestly, like when I go to the grocery store now, I try and bring one of my kiddos. I have teenagers, so that they can. I go to the one that you have to bag your own if you're bringing your reusable bag. So I make my kid either bag it or put it on the conveyor belt. So it's a 2-person job to check out at the grocery store. But I just can't. I can't go back.
I know it's hard.
It's plastic bags.
I know the plastic bags. It's like we can't be seen with them.
I know. Well, I remember when I was a kid. When I was really young, when they first started talking about the like the 6-pack things, like you have to cut these up and you have to make sure that the ducks and the fish don't get caught.
Turtles.
And that was my childhood duty for recycling. But we had just heard about that then. I'm not getting 6-packs anymore, but I wasn't drinking 6-pack beer. Okay, as a child.
Well, whether it's like a glass wine bottle or your Boda box or something, that box can go into your recycling bin. The bladder, it will have to be discarded. But
I will say the guys and I've told you, Mel, this, that of my story when I was about to miss recycling day, because if you miss recycling day,
Oh God.
you're so screwed.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could hear the truck, and ours was so full. And we live on a hill, and so I could see the guy coming up, and we'd already missed it going this way. And I literally am about to go to work, and I have on wedges, and I am running across the street, okay, up, across and up, okay. And so I get there, and I'm just like, hi. And I literally was jumping, because you don't realize how tall the
trucks are.
I was like, and it's like, he was so nice, and I put it there, and I just kind of stood there. I was just like, yes, thank God. But I told you about it next day. So, and I remember you saying, okay, I will let them know in the meeting. But they were the guy was very nice, and I wish I knew what his name was, because he was very.
I'd love to show you around the landfill, our city's landfill, because I give tours out there too. So you can see firsthand where all household trash goes and just how massive it is. And, just that system out there at
perspective. I'd put it in perspective.
Oh, it's a total, perspective. Mm-hmm. And how much diversion, recycling, the percentage there, so that there's more room at the landfill for actual trash and things that don't have in markets and just have to be buried. So recycling is important because it's saving some space in our landfill that is finite. It's not going to be there forever. So we've got to be very mindful of what we're putting into the landfill, what we can divert from the landfill. And then on the very front end, when we're making our purchases, what we can just not even buy that will go into that system at all. And that's where reusing, refusing, reusing come in.
Yeah,
to play.
Just fix things and share things and whatever. I mean, I think that's where we've gotten. And Lennie and I were talking about even like shopping at Goodwill, shopping secondhand, or, what is it where you rent a dress, and
rent the runway.
Gather places.
Yeah. Amy, so it was just, so, that sort of thing is sustainability. It is, because you're reusing something or you're sharing something. And I've even had with a girlfriend group of mine, everybody brings something that you want to get rid of, and it's a surprise. And we just do kind of a blind exchange. It's almost like a white elephant. It could be.
That's fun. That's
very fun.
Yeah. So it could just be anything from a book to a piece of clothing to, whatever. And it's new to the other person, and it's fun and exciting. And if you're all friends, you're probably going to like what it is, anyway.
That's the beauty of that. I've done many clothing swaps. I've hosted them, I've attended them, and that's clothing, accessories, shoes, and these are all friends and friends of friends. So that's the best way to go.
That's another form of sustainability, though.
It truly is.
You just keep the cycle going, and it doesn't hit the landfill is absolutely the last resort. And the resort right before that's recycling, right? I mean, that's not first line of defense. We need to, we try to educate on, like Lennie was saying, the refusal and reuse way before the recycling piece.
And that's something as a culture, we have got to tweak our brains collectively to start thinking about, our purchases and how much packaging is involved and it's totally unnecessary. What can we do differently so there's not waste when we take it out of the store?
Or doing business with people who package it sustainably.
I want to have a PSA right this second, because Mel told me this, and I talk about it all the time, Mel, about the boxes. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm getting it out right now because it's the best thing ever. So, Emily, if you did not know this, all of their boxes. So, and I found this out from her when we moved 2 years ago. We had all these boxes, and typically
cardboard boxes.
Yes, cardboard boxes. Yes, excuse me.
Right.
And we had all these cardboard boxes from moving, and people usually on Facebook will be like, "I've got these boxes. If anybody wants to come and get them." But anyway, you can put them out on your trash or your yard pickup day. Mm-hmm. And you don't even have to break them down. You can put sticks in them, and it goes for compost.
So you told me this. I tried it. Okay. They didn't pick it up.
Oh.
So maybe I did something wrong.
No, here's the thing. Since COVID, especially, a lot of the yard waste pickup crew was pared down, and they're building that back up. Like I just on my when I went home for lunch today, I took a picture of my yard waste, which was supposed to be picked up when was it? Wednesday, and still has not. So I took a picture of it on the 311 app. That's our city's app. It's good for lots of things. If there's a dead animal on the side of the road, you can alert the city. They can pick it up. I didn't know about this before my job with the city. It's brilliant. But I posted about my missed yard waste and took a picture of the house. And that's a service request. It's really a beautiful thing. And sometimes things get missed. We get calls sometimes from residents about their recycling being missed or something. So no 311, use it, get the app. It's great. Melinda uses it too.
I do. As a matter of fact, I just used it recently for a pothole. And it GIS's the location. So I just stopped at the stop sign and leaned my phone out the driver window and took a picture of the pothole. It GIS's it.
Yep.
And in 24 hours, that pothole was repaired.
Shut up. I had no idea.
I've used it because to get my trash can repaired. Like we live on a street where it's a narrow street and like people will hit the trash cans and stuff like that. So I've had my trash can repaired, I think 3 times. Like the city's at least good about like, they don't just bring me a new trash can. They come out and like put the wheel back on and like repair it. So I've had the same trash can for like 10 years, I feel like.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we're being sustainable. We're repairing that.
That is so awesome. But I will say, even though that didn't work for you that time, I mean, I do it every
I'm
week.
sure I did something wrong.
I buy stuff all the time. I mean, I probably spend too much money, but there's always an Amazon box or, some odd size because we're redoing the house. I'm always buying something crazy size. And my husband should work for the city because he is the garbage recycling police in my home. So if it's not put in correctly, or if it's not, the bag is not tagged correctly, or the box isn't broken down correctly, then I get in trouble.
I love it.
And
Go Matt. We love Matt.
Yeah, I know.
You always want to put your recycling into your cart loose, right? Keep it loose.
No bag.
No plastic bag. You don't want to bag it like your trash.
Actually, my husband
No bags
told me
at all. No plastic bags. No plastic bags. Good call. Good shout out on that front. Yeah.
So who was going to be your speaker for your sustainability summit?
Oh, right. This is a good one.
So Adam Chappelle, who I have a hard crush on, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. He is like a rock star farmer. He is in high demand all over the country for speaking, and his farm is in Cotton Plant, Arkansas. He was featured in National Geographic. I mean, we need to shout out, what's going on in the state of Arkansas is so super cool. He is so fantastic. And
we had such a good summit plan. It broke our hearts.
Yeah, well, we'll be back.
Will it be postponed? Are you going to do it when you can, or are you just going to jump to the next year and just hold it for...
We will not let the opportunity with Adam Chappelle go. Let me just go ahead for the record and say that. I mean,
we're gonna bring him back in somehow.
I'm just saying. We have him. He is going to be part of a summit. Yes, no question about it.
I wanted to touch on compost because that's an element of recycling that we don't often think of, but diverting food waste from the landfill is huge. And the methane gas that comes out of a landfill because of food waste is really destructive. And so if you can divert it and put it into compost, then it won't emit that methane. It'll be used for a good soil that then can be used to turn around and make good food. So Urban Food Loop was the recipient of a Sustain the Rock Award this year.
One of the winners for small business in the small business category.
Right here in Little Rock.
Right, they're all in Little Rock.
Melinda uses that service for her home compost.
Yeah, there are two ways to do it easily in the city of Little Rock. I use the service. They collect it and at my front door because I'm a little lazy, so I have the service.
That's awesome.
They collect it weekly. It's a subscription service, and they give you a really cute little
pail to put it on.
Little pail to put it in your kitchen, so that you can use it for a transfer container to put it outside.
And Melinda shares it at the office. So when we're doing coffee grinds and banana peels and whatever, she's very generous and shares her pail with us at the office.
And I bring it home and have it when they pick it up. You talk about what you do, which is the other option in the city, and I'm gonna go get my little.
So cool.
What's the cost of that subscription?
Is it like $30 a month? $31 a month for them to constantly come to your house and. Oh my God, that is cute. She's going to show you the pail. Because Reed just got these new pails.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that adorable?
And see, then you take the inside out, right? This is what you put it in, but this keeps it, has a filter on the top.
Those are great.
So it doesn't smell. And you can keep this countertop in your kitchen, and then you transfer this pail, to your outside pail that gets collected every week.
That's wonderful.
You can tell how
it doesn't smell?
It doesn't, because it has this filter on the lid, and when it gets full or if it is smelly, you just transfer it to a pail.
Then it's time for it to go.
Well, that I keep outside. He also provides you with a pail that you set out in the front, by your front door every week. And my collection day is Wednesday. So I bring it home from the office, like Lennie was saying, on Tuesday, and add it to mine and set it out Wednesday morning, and I get a new pail every week.
So that's a super cool story. You can find them on Facebook. And what I use is, are you familiar with Dunbar Garden?
Yes.
Okay, that's over on Chester Street. And Dunbar Garden is awesome.
We love Dunbar.
It's right there by, what is that, Williams Library? And it's South Chester, and it's been around forever. You may have heard live music there or gone to a wedding there. They have chickens and all kinds, and they have a Wednesday market, so they're selling their produce every Wednesday all day. But they also have a compost program for free, and so you just go around kind of behind the garden. You pick up a pail that is either a loblolly pail, right, from Loblolly Creamery.
They donate them.
They're empty cartons, or I think Kilwin's, that chocolate company, that's another one. But I just grab an empty and take it home, fill it with my compost, bring it back to this little chicken wire cabinet behind Dunbar Garden, and grab another. So I go and do the exchange, but they use it for their garden. They teach kids about gardening and compost with this stuff. And it's they access Dunbar Middle School and also Gibbs Elementary, which is right there, and they teach these kids about this whole circuit, whole circle of composting and bringing it back into something living. And
the school,
it's awesome.
The school gardening program is pretty cool. It's one of the city, but it's super cool, and because it's a city-owned facility, we go there every Wednesday. We buy flowers,
support it a lot. We do.
Here we go.
Zinnia from
the garden.
So, okay, if you guys could let us know all your social media outlets for people to follow us.
Okay, so on Facebook, you can find us at Sustain Little Rock. Okay. And that's all you have to look at. And the logo will say City of Little Rock Sustainability Office of 2. Right? Email. On Instagram, we are also Sustain Little Rock.
We've learned so much. I mean, even just even the tip about the 311 app, I'm like, I've got to get that app.
Download that.
Download it.
It'll be your bestie.
Peruse it. It's interesting.
there are your mind will be blown on how many services are free and come with that by having your solid waste fee covers all of these services that you may not know about. So definitely spend a minute on that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I learned so much.
I was excited. I'm happy to see Mel on she's going to be on a social media platform.
You are?
Okay.